think we're ready to rock and roll. So, might as well just get into it, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Yo, Crossroads Podcast. Number 83, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
83.
This is only the third in person.
Nice.
Yeah. With my
Cool.
dude.
Star Kid in the building.
Star Kid in the building.
Let's
thanks,
go.
bro. Yo,
Thanks for having me, bro.
I'm stoked, man.
I've actually never done like anything like a podcast or anything like that before. So
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is cool.
What happened here? All right. Had to fix the camera. Probably edit that out, but we're back at it. Yeah, you'd never done a podcast, you're saying?
Yeah, never done a podcast or like talk show or anything like this, so it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. I've been doing it for a minute, and it's fun. It's nice to like connect with other artists and get to know them some more. You know, with music or videos, even through social media, you don't get like a total vibe of a person.
For sure. Yeah, especially with social media, you really only get what they want you to see.
For real. Yeah, dude. And it's good to be real. I've seen some of your things online that are more like you're like filming a lot, like just kind of you'll be saying something real quick, maybe making a joke.
Yeah, I that's like a lot of my TikTok and short comedy content, just to kind of something other than just my music to keep people entertained or to maybe attract new potential fans.
Yeah.
And, I like being a funny guy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and if that's who you are and you're enjoying it and having fun with it, that's probably one of the most important things. I'll see a lot of these things online and I'm like, this has got to be a skit sometimes.
Yeah.
People
some of
like,
them are obviously skits.
Where some people be like, I'm filming this influencer from a far away and they're at a restaurant. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm loving eating this meal. And then they'll like stop their camera and they'll get like all depressed.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this whole thing is gotta be fake. Like,
gotta be.
Like I'm sure some people are like that, but it's like
the chances of catching that on camera, like realistically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how social media is, because I see a lot more of that nowadays too. But you know, with music, say I'll see something where somebody's like, oh, I released a new single, and they just make, sometimes it'll be the same exact setting, and they'll just keep making more and more shorts of them like lip syncing to that song, and they'll just make like 100 of them or something.
Yeah.
And then eventually it pops because.
Yeah, definitely seen that too. Yeah. And
well,
like
I need to
some
tune
of those.
you on those. What are you on under TikTok?
What's that?
What are you on under TikTok? Like your tag?
Happy Ghost 7. Yeah. But the O is a 0. But like most of the time, if you look up Happy Ghost, it'll just show you my profile. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Are you that on Instagram and stuff too?
No, Instagram is Star Kid. My threads, of course, goes with my Instagram, so it's also Star Kid. I think TikTok is the only thing, and Snapchat. I have that handle.
Nice. Happy Ghost, huh?
Yeah. I don't know, like, a lot of people ask where the name came from. I just wanted to do something different that wasn't my artist name, because when I first started doing TikTok, I didn't want it to have anything to do with my music. I just wanted it to be its own standalone thing. And, you know, it's kind of doing its thing. But, like, I don't know, like, I felt like a ghost, but I wasn't sad or like a depressed ghost, like, ooh, you know. I'm a happy ghost, you know, in the sense that, like, I can exist anywhere that I want, you know. I could fade into the background. I could be a poltergeist if I wanted, make shit happen. You know, I don't know. You could look at it a couple of different ways.
Yeah, true that. Sorry to interrupt again. I'm gonna make sure that these are rolling.
Yeah.
Because it could be the poltergeist messing with us, bro.
Yeah.
Right. It's the ghosts, man. Halloween time is
Damn.
right here. The ghosts, man. Shutting down the cameras.
My bad.
What, do you believe in ghosts, actually?
That's an interesting question. So I think that, like, if a ghost like were a thing, it's probably not like a person or a spirit of a person. I think I think if people's spirits did linger for 50, 100 years, 200 years, at some point that spirit of that person, they wouldn't even recognize like what or who we are just because of how people change, you know?
True that,
And
you
like
know.
why would they want to stick around? I think a ghost is probably more like a thought or like collective energy, or like an idea, like the ghost of an idea, you know. Like I don't know like how else to explain that, but I do believe in like evil specters, like dark, demonic, otherworldly, dimensional
For sure.
stuff.
And I definitely believe in angels too. I've seen a spectrum of both the dark and the light. Um, Especially hallucinogens. It's probably one of the biggest attractions I had to hallucinogens and psychedelics was I felt like it tapped more into the spirit. Maybe I
You can
felt like
kind
it
of
would open your
see
psychic centers more or something.
through the veil,
Yeah.
with the assistance of certain chemicals.
Yeah, for sure. I think I may have seen a ghost once. I don't know. I was closing down. I worked at a taco shop, Taco Treat Amigo Lounge in Great Falls.
Yeah.
I was closing down the kitchen, and this chick in front of me, the waitress, you know, and I mean, I might have been high. I was usually high. But we're walking to clock out, and I see this like apparition thing. I go, whew, and I didn't think nothing of it. And she goes, "Oh my God, did you see that?" I was like, "What? You seen that?" She goes, I think that was a ghost.
That's kind of creepy that you both saw
That
it.
so that's one of the moments. I've seen some stuff too on mushrooms. Me and my homies, we all ate mushrooms, and all of us seen this thing, like this ball of light or something come like it almost looked like it ripped through one dimension and then like showed up in this one for a second and then ripped back
Oh
in.
shit.
I don't know. And we all looked at it in synchronicity. And two of us just laugh hysterically, and the other dude's like, "Oh my God, did you?" And we're all like, "Dude, we all seen that."
Yeah, see, that's when it gets a little weird. Is like it's not only you that sees it; it's other people that see it. That's whenever you got to question what's going on. What is that? What was that really?
If your mind's playing tricks on you, or if it's
Yeah.
something outside of your mind. Yeah, it's trippy, but I think well, with Star Kid, why'd you go with Star Kid for a name?
Oh, okay. So I actually didn't always go by Star Kid. When I first started rapping, I was rapping before I ever started recording or anything. I was rapping and writing,
Mm-hmm.
mostly just freestyling. And I didn't have a producer or anything, so they were all just to beats of songs, like popular songs or just anything I could find on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to call myself Devious Tone when I was like 13 to 16 years old.
Uh-huh.
And then around 16, I think 16, 17, I changed my name from Devious Tone to Kid Rhymes. And first of all, I don't know where Devious Tone came from. It was just like, boom, like that's what I'm going to call myself.
That's cool.
But I after that, I called myself Kid Rhymes,
Mm-hmm.
Rhymes with a Z, because I didn't want to be like Lil something, because there's so many like Lil Wayne, Lil Peep, Lil Pump, like Lil whatever, dude. There's thousands of them.
Yeah, true that.
But when it comes to like the kids, I can think of like Kid Cudi, Kid Ink. I mean, now we got the Kid Leroy, but he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even a thing whenever I was thinking of these names. I was like, there's not many like kids out there. So I was like, I'll be Kid Rhymes. And I think over time I just evolved out of that name, and like not only did my writing style and delivery change, but my subject matter changed. And so Star Kid was born, basically like a spirit or an energy from outer space, the stars, like an alien boy.
For real, bro. Yo, that's cool. I dig it. I've always been into that stuff. I think more later. I had an album Space Cowboy, and I was kind of running with
Yeah.
that for a long time. I still have stuff. Like we'll make comic books. We have another we're working on, me and my son.
Fuck yeah.
Because the space stuff, man, I think personally, I've been into it because it's like the unknown out there. What were you even into like space or anything like that or
So yeah, I've always loved like space and like planets and stuff and like studying planets and um astronomy, you
uh-huh.
know, stuff like that. Uh and then
Or
like
astrology too?
astrology,
Yeah,
yeah, a
yeah.
little bit,
Like the
yeah.
zodiac and all
Yeah,
this
a
shit.
little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. I was I was really interested in like anime and like cartoons and stuff. Like I think
Uh-huh.
of like when you say Space Cowboy, I think Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop,
Dude,
yeah.
one of my favorites, man. I watched that growing up whenever Toonami was still a thing, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. That I love the whole vibe of that, you know, and that setting, you know, and that idea of being like a space cowboy, vigilante, fucking bounty hunter, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's I'm definitely into cartoons and anime still. I don't think I'll ever not be. I have done some animations. I'm hoping to get more of the anime style. But yeah, so the space stuff is cool, but like you say Alien Boy.
Yeah.
So what? I'm just curious like about aliens now. Were you ever like, "Oh, aliens, what the heck?"
Ben 10 was a big part of my childhood, man.
Or you like
I
shapeshifts
loved
into different.
yeah, loved the concept of like this unseeming child, you know, could just like transform into a flaming alien
Yeah, yeah, for
and just
real.
ruin your day. Yeah,
Dude.
and aliens have always been like just an interest too, you know, in the sense of like, are they among us, you know, or like what's out there in the stars? How far away are they? Do they watch us, you know? Like always
Yeah.
been big into watching alien documentaries or when I was like in middle school, reading about the pyramids and how everyone theorized that aliens helped build them, you know. I
Dude.
love it, you know. I love like the idea of coming into contact potentially one day with some sort of extraterrestrial life. That's insane. Just to think about. And we might see that happen in our lifetime.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I had this song when I first was kind of popping in the scene when people like noticed me because I got this other artist, an older artist, Bubba Sparks, to feature, and he had like hits and was like famous more. He still is, but I did it was on a Space Cowboy album, so the song was Making Contact, and it was kind of about that concept of an artist being an unknown artist
Mm-hmm.
finally getting known. But I would do that on stage. I would have this alien mask in my pocket, and then say like when his feature came on, I'd throw on the alien mask.
And he's like talking to you, or you like
I
talking
would
to him?
just like rap over it, his verse on stage.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
But the alien thing, for me, it was kind of like a weird science fiction thing I could use to play along with the music, which I kind of got from you, where I was like,
Yeah.
okay, he's saying things on stage like about this being a spaceship and we're gonna
Taking
get
you on a journey,
elevated,
yeah.
yeah. And I think that's super dope because it gives you this like theme for your shows,
Absolutely, yeah.
and it creates like this experience for people
Yeah.
beyond just like, oh, I'm just gonna go see like another
Right. And
show. Yeah.
especially being like a supporting act for like what we had here for the Halloween party, opening for somebody and getting to set them up like that is
Yeah, it was
so
good.
so fun, dude. Yeah.
It was funny because you were like, all right, y'all, you're gonna see one of the greatest acts in Montana tonight. But first, you're gonna have to deal with me right now. I was like, oh, that was clever because I thought you were gonna say it yourself.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the idea, yeah.
So I was like, dude, that's smart. And it's like
And it's good to
you
have
can set your
fun,
ego to
you
the
know.
side and be like, yo,
It's good to have fun with the audience, you know. Make them relax and, you know, so that way you're relaxed, you know.
yeah. And you also had good performing too. That was like, you like did this at one point. And it's like, okay, so he's performing in a manner that's
Meant
like
to,
not quite choreography. It's theatrical.
right. Meant to entertain.
Yeah, meant to
Mhm.
entertain, which it takes also a certain level of ego to do that because you have, in my mind, I'm like, you have to be brave and have courage to do something like that
Mhm.
because, a lot of people, they don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think being a like an artist, especially musical artist, but really any sort of artist where you're presenting a piece of you to an audience, I think that always takes some sort of ego, whether people like to admit that or not. And it's really just about keeping your ego in check and remembering like what your ego is, and don't let your ego control you. You know, you control the ego.
Yeah, true
You
that.
tell it when to sit down. You tell it when to stand up, you know?
For real. You know, it's controlling the mind. You know, I got pretty deep into all that. I was down the rabbit hole for a while. Thought like mind control and the propaganda of the government.
Yeah.
Also, when I was into the aliens, because you know,
They're
are
going
they
to probe
among
us.
yeah, are they among us? Or you'd hear like, I would see that in the media a lot. People would be like, oh, yo, this artist. They'd be like, say I was down the rabbit hole, but I would also be on like LSD
Oh,
at
yeah.
times, and I'd be like, what the hell? Reptilian shape shifting Justin Bieber, and they'd be like, oh, the only reason they're like famous is because they're this like ancient
Reptilian
demon alien.
They live underground.
Yeah, and they're eating babies. So I was like, what the fuck? And you know, that's another reason. You know, that's like some modern day things, but I would also get into like the ancient stuff of like, how does this weird entertainment industry stuff correlate to this like ancient, like you say, the pyramids?
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at like their gods and their writings or hieroglyphics or whatever, and I'm like, what the hell? So I dug the Star Kid thing right away because I was like, well, I could relate to it with the space stuff.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of a breath of fresh air because there's not a lot of people that kind of play on that. Like when you say your maybe lyrical content started to change from like Devious Tone, Kid Rhymes, and Star Kid. I mean, what would you say even changed?
So whenever I was younger and I was Devious Tone, it was literally me with training wheels is how I would describe it, man. It's like I was learning how to rap, how to rhyme words, how to like layer syllables, you know, how to freestyle on the spot. And yeah, that was Devious Tone. And then Kid Rhymes came into play whenever I finally decided to start releasing music and actually writing music.
Mm.
And that was through my high school days. So really like, well, it was actually after I graduated was when we started releasing music, but I was writing a lot of this in high school.
All right.
So a lot of that music is a reflection of who I was in high school and the kind of problems that like a teenager goes through, you know, especially a teenager trying to find himself or like find out who he is. And at that time, like I had a long-term girlfriend and like we hadn't broken up at that point. So like I wasn't quite dealing with the heartbreak. I wasn't quite addicted to any drugs. Like, I mean, I might have been, but I didn't admit it to myself, you know?
Nah, that's how I'm always have been.
Yeah.
Right. But just
hindsight,
all
it's
the
like,
time. Even like, I think the real reason beyond the physical why I got addicted to drugs too was because of the creativity. I would be like, yo,
you know, that's an
smoking
unfortunate
weed,
fact, though.
for sure, or drinking, or especially if I was on psychedelics or like some sort of upper.
Yeah.
You know, I have ADHD.
It affects your creative process, and it's an unfortunate like fact. Like, and a lot of people might not agree with it, but the fact is that all great music comes from drugs. And it's like you can take a look at, especially when we're talking like rock music, like in the 70s, like, and even some in the 80s, and their substance of choice in those decades is actually shown in the music.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen to it. So it's like
I was on way too much cocaine. It was so fast and short.
And like Motley Crue, they had was it Dr. Feelgood that they supposedly recorded sober, or one of those albums it was like after they got sober.
Dr. Feelgood.
They were not sober.
Yeah,
they weren't.
I think they like went to rehab and were like trying to stay sober.
Like they might have been sober, but when they made that album, They weren't.
Yeah,
And
especially when they're
they talked
touring
about that
too.
now. You know, they talked about it nowadays. Like I saw an interview probably earlier this year or late last year where they were talking about it. I was like, God damn it.
I'm a big Motley Crue fan.
Love
Like,
Motley Crue. Any of the
all
70s hair metal bands and shit like that, dude, I loved it.
dude, yeah. When I got into music, I like it almost went through the decades where I was like, yo, this is my modern music. Like, when I was in high school, emo was the big thing happening for my age.
Like Pierce the Veil and
Yeah.
Black Veil Brides and
Even you know, from first to last.
yeah.
And what Ronnie Radke's band. I love Falling in
Motionless in
Reverse.
White.
Yeah, and what was Escape the Fate.
Or that's what it was. Escape
Yeah.
the Fate. I
And
always get those two confused. Why don't I fucking do that?
yeah. I mean, all those bands too had all those like emo names, you know, which is cool. But then I got way into like, of course, I grew up in like the 90s and early 2000s, the 80s rock, 70s. So I went all the way back to probably even like, you know, to me, where it all even started with the rock and roll and the blues was the. Are you familiar with the Crossroads? Like, deal with the devil.
Yeah.
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 So I got really fascinated with that, and that's kind of where I base like the Crossroads podcast. All goes to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But rock and roll nowadays, hip hop to me, you can throw all that into hip hop.
Oh yeah, I would say hip hop is the modern day rock and roll because I mean when rock and roll came out, you know, you didn't just have rock and roll. You had blues rock, you had like the metal rock, you had the punk rock, you had the grunge rock. You know, it was all these different subgenres, and that's what hip hop is now. I mean, I remember a point in time, it was probably early 2000s, 2010s, where like hip hop rap music was pretty much all the same. You know, they used the same type of 808s, the same tempos, the same, I would say, like equation
Oh yeah,
for their
sure. It was a
songs.
formula.
Yeah. But then as time went on, we got the emo rap, we got the conscious rap, we got the lyrical rap. You know what I mean? So
I'm a
now,
big fan of emo rap too. I'm
yeah.
like,
So now rap also has all these subgenres now, you know?
yeah. When I first came across you, I was like, oh, he's kind of has this like emo vibe,
For sure, yeah.
you know? And
Very punkish, very like emo, goth, whatever. Like
yeah, for sure. Which is cool, because and I love all of the different types, but especially as like once I started producing more beats and everything, to me I was like, yo, I love the emo because it oftentimes be like a cool guitar, pretty simple, with like an 808, like a trap beat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of trap beats, and I don't know, there's a certain vibe like I was saying before, being a bipolar, manic depression. There's that part of me that also fell in love with my depression. Where I was like, look, I like being in this dark space, dark headspace. I like it makes me happy to be sad sometimes.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like there was that part of me, you know, even as an
It felt
addict, where people be like, yo, well, like
it was
your
a familiar
song,
feeling.
All My Friends Died from Drugs, or what is it?
Yeah, drugs took all my friends. Yeah. Check it out on YouTube. Check it
Yeah.
out on YouTube.
And I wouldn't say it's full frontal. It's you can definitely see the back side. I thought it was gonna be full frontal for a minute.
No, I can't expose myself on YouTube
Yeah.
like that. Even with the age verification thing, it's like I don't think they'll allow that. But my ass cheeks for 7 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
You got OnlyFans? It's like it's really just to get people to my OnlyFans.
Yeah, you guys are missing the point.
Yeah.
I just
But-
thought it would be like, and it did what I wanted it to in the sense that I was like, this will literally force people to watch it. Because imagine like 3 people that know me, right? And this person sees my video, right? And then they tell these other 2 people like, oh my God, Avery is naked in this video. And they're going to be like, what? And then boom, they just send them the video.
They'd be like,
check it out. Watch it. That's
Yeah, and then they show it to
right
their friend,
there.
like, damn, he's got a nice ass. I mean, you gotta have some courage to do that too.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that on stage?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I really want to get into like acting though, and like we kind of talked
Oh
about
yeah,
the
you were saying you've been
films
writing a
earlier.
script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna have to take some classes, like realistically. And I'm okay with that. But I also want to get into modeling. So like, and I'm comfortable enough with my body, so it's like, fuck it, you know?
Oh, yeah, true that. We'll have to hit you up for some modeling stuff because we need to get some like photo shoots of our different gear.
Mm-hmm.
People rocking it.
Dude, I would love to fucking do that. Yeah, and like all like I really just want to like build a portfolio right now.
That's what
You
we
know
need
what I
to do
mean?
as well with like
Yeah.
helping market. And a lot of I've talked to you about it'll be kind of the punk rock stuff like pants, cool flannels and stuff. Because you kind of have this like formal punk rock style. Like you're like, oh, it's punk, but it's also kind of like you got the
I can still be presentable.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
which is cool. And then like I told you about that music video. I got homie coming from the Hollywood
Yeah. Yep.
area, and because I like doing different shoots where it's like, yo, this is a simple music video shoot. It's a quickie. You can get action cam, GoPro, or your phone and shoot some quick. But then I also like this aspect of like, hey, we're gonna have some lights set up. We got a set, and we got some like,
Yeah.
actors. So I've been looking for some people for some different roles. So maybe I'll talk to you some more about
Yeah.
that.
Dude, for sure. I have a buddy Rolando out in Seattle, and I've been kind of picking his brain because he's a photographer, videographer out of there, and he's been doing it for the past 3 years and like living off of it. So he's like right now he's doing a lot of like commercials and like interviews and stuff.
Right.
And he's like the stuff he said he's doing right now. He says it's kind of boring, but it pays. But he is really good with like lighting and stuff, and so I'll pick his brain about that, and I'll try to fucking figure it out, man. And yeah, I would love to just be a part of that as well.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking for those people in town where I'm going to try to have maybe like a monthly meeting at least where I can round up some people that are like interested in acting or the modeling and that writing or crew people that are like, look, I'm not very good with like acting or writing, but I want to help set up or be a part of it. Because then having more cameras where you're like, yo, we just need people to also film behind the scenes.
Yeah, I feel like that is a major component too that could just enhance the whole project, you know?
It does. It helps for sharing on social media. It helps for documenting and, maybe make a behind the scenes video for the release and whatnot.
And I think it gets different type of people interested, you know, that are like maybe people that are more interested in the behind the scenes
in
stuff.
the production.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." You know.
I was always that guy. When DVDs first started coming out, I would be like, well, you can go to the scene selection or whatever, bonus features and look at the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
So,
bonus features were the shit, dude. I loved like all of that stuff, especially on like horror movies. And you can watch the special effects and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're trying to do some more stuff like that since my wife does the airbrush tattoos where I'm like, look, I want to get more into the body art so we can make like, say, in this upcoming project and a lot of projects really, like say if you're going to have the devil, something where I'm like, yo, yeah, you could have a devil personified as a person or an alien type creature. You're like, yo, but if you get some good like body art and almost like prosthetic stuff going on, makes this so dope.
Oh yeah, dude. Because you can literally like change features of like people's faces and make it so dramatic, and that's what catches people's attention, you know.
For real.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with figures like the devil, you know.
Yeah. Dude. Which I think all that stuff is super like creative, and it's also sometimes can create like could be controversial. It could be just entertaining, but also might have something to do with like the story. Some people are, like ain't into that.
Yeah.
Like obviously this place was a church before.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh.
I did not know that.
When I was first
I guess that's why there's a whole room back there with a stage.
Yeah, the sanctuary back here. So that was all pre-built.
Cool.
And that's really what the selling point was for me to be like, oh, let's rent this.
We rapping in a church.
dude, for real. And so when I first was getting sober this time, and when I went to my first meeting, a sponsor I met or sponsor I chose, he was part of it. Set Free Ministries, the biker church.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started coming down here for my 12 steps, and then I started playing with the band, which was different for me, playing with praise and worship band. But it'd be getting rocking sometimes,
Cool. Yeah.
and I could like kick on the distortion and wah and be like, you
Praise the Lord.
yeah, praise the Lord. Yeah. And but it was good for me to learn how to experience like taking my ego out of the equation, and it's like not self-glorifying, it's like glorifying the creator or higher power.
Yeah, for sure.
But then when they moved, we could slide in here.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, dude. And so, of course there's that part of me. I was always like raised in a Christian environment or Catholic, and rebelled definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got cleaned up, I kind of came back to like almost like making an amends with that part of myself.
Yeah.
But again, I think even if you're a person that has like a faith or something, I still think that those aspects are important. The
It's
dark
important.
aspects, the light aspects,
Yeah, it's especially important just to know, even if you don't practice it. It's good to educate yourself, especially on that stuff. Like I was also raised, I think it's Pentecostal Christian, like the ladies that wear the denim dresses and all.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was my dad's side of the family. So my grandma, my cousins, my aunt, they all like practiced this like religiously. And I lived with my grandma for a pretty large portion of my
Was it
childhood.
down in Texas? You're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, East Texas, yeah. And I was actually baptized at the age of 13. And it's like, I don't consider myself a Christian just because like I don't like accept Jesus as my savior. And like that's just my thing. But I respect it, and I've worshiped before, so I can't say anything about it. But I learned when I was like 13, 14, I was like, there's more to the world, and I had all these different friends of different cultural backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, and I just started asking questions, dude. And I know like a little bit of everything, I think, or not everything, but like religion wise, I know a little bit of a lot of them,
I think they're
And
all
that's
interesting.
cool, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're all interesting. I think that, one of the hard parts I've gone through, even with Christianity, was that, there's only one path to God, which, let's say is like through Christ or whatever. Through Christ, that's the definitely Christian thing, And I think Christ is rad. But I think that all the other religions are cool too, like whatever their philosophy or their belief system is, whatever their path to God. I think there's still like my kids. I'm like, you should know this stuff. You should be aware. You'll be cultured that this is the world. So in my mind, I'm like, look, I got respect for people and their religions or their politics or whatever. I'm just like,
That's how it should
do
be.
your thing, yo.
That's how it should be. Yeah. Some people are just radical, and they
For real.
want to shape the world, in their perfect image,
Yeah, dude. I mean, being an artist, you can kind of do your own thing, I think, as far as, having your impact on the world as a person. It's pretty tough when you see people out there like really protesting and stuff. I'm like, man, dang, dude, that's the artists to me. Those are the ones I listened to growing up. I'm like, yo, here's who I'm gonna listen to. Really,
Yeah.
is this artist, this band, they had the most influence on me, and I think they're some of the most powerful in society.
Yeah. When you talk about that, I think of bands like My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, like he was a comic writer and artist, and like,
Really?
yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, he was a comic writer, and then 9/11 had happened, and because it affected him so much, oh, something's happening with that. I don't know what's it.
Oh.
but because it affected him so much,
Uh-huh.
he decided to like make some music, you know, and he became the voice of a fucking generation. And then guess what? He went back to writing comics. You know?
I'm gonna have to check that out, dude.
Yeah.
Because I love comics. There's a part of me that's a geek. You know, I think as a human, a lot of people have multiple personalities, you could say. And I think all that stuff could just, you know, like if there was Star Kid stuff that was anime
Oh,
graphics
dude, that would be so
and,
cool.
you know,
That'd be
an
so
animation
cool.
video or a lyric video, album cover, or T-shirt that's like, you know, it's you as an anime character.
I would love to see like a comic book of Star Kid. I actually have my buddy Bryce. He's been drawing me as an anime character. I don't know if he's finished with it or not, but yeah,
Sick.
yeah, pretty cool. But
It expands your
it's like it
fan
expands the
base.
universe. I think of the artist. You know.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the old movie Star Kid?
No.
Haha.
No.
I was like 7 years old or something when I seen it. And well, we have an age gap. Well, how old are you?
25.
25. I'm 35.
Oh damn.
Well,
Man.
34.
I'll be 26 in November.
Nice. Hopefully you make it past 27. You familiar with the 27 Club?
Yeah. Is that wood? I don't know.
No. Drywall back. There's a wood stud
Somewhere.
back there somewhere. This is wood. Yeah. But yeah, I love the 27 Club too. They're all some of my very favorite artists. My son's name is Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I
My
was getting off.
my nephew's name is Hendrik.
Hendrick or Hendrix?
Just Hendrik, but
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I was saying, oh yeah, the age gap. When I was a kid, I was like 7 years old, and it was this movie called Star Kid, and it was like this alien came from another world or something. It was a different planet. It wasn't like a different dimension, I'm pretty sure. And it was like a suit. Like the kid could get inside of this alien, and it made him like a superhero.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird.
Kind of like Blue Beetle almost.
I haven't watched Blue Beetle yet.
It's a pretty similar story in the sense that like it's like a suit that comes from outer space.
Huh. I'll have to check it out. The Marvel Universe, they got to be so expanded, I like haven't still tapped into them all.
Really?
But
I mean, I know you're into comics. Did you ever read like many of the Marvel comics?
I never read
Anything?
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to check it out. There
Is
was
Blue
some-
Beetle Marvel or DC?
Is it DC? I thought it was Marvel.
I don't know. I want to say Marvel, but now I'm not even fucking sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely comic book. I'm definitely into them. Kind of a geek. But yeah, it would be dope to see Star Kid comics. What are you doing now? You working on an album or just singles?
Just singles, man. My idea, or the reason I'm doing this like this and releasing these singles and these videos every month is just because when I've made the albums before, like I have 3 full-length albums and
Star
maybe
Kid albums.
Right, yeah. Well, and some of them were made as Kid Rhymes, you know. So it's like it's still me, but it's not Star Kid.
Oh, okay. I got
But yeah, 3 full-length albums and like 1 EP and a few singles between all those. But it seems like a lot of the artistry, like the art that I put into the albums, just kind of gets lost in translation or just
Yeah,
kind
I've heard
of
that.
looked over. And, you know, that's not anybody's fault, I don't think. It's just because I don't have enough people who are that invested yet.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's okay. We'll get there. But I would rather focus all my artistic abilities into like a hit, like a hot single that has like a dope beat, and then I can direct a video to it, you know, like come up with those ideas, which is like fueling a different creative process in me, which is like even more fulfilling, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that about it. And yeah, it's like until something pops off, you know, and like people want an album out of me, I think I'll just keep pumping out the singles. So it's like right now I'm working on a song called Assumptions. It's going to be coming to you real soon. The video for that we're shooting on Tuesday. And then I'm almost done with this other song. I'm going to shoot that video next month. don't know the date yet, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just constantly working, like either writing a song. Like I'm honestly writing like 4 different songs right now.
Yeah, I
It's
hear
like I'll
you.
just jump from one to the other, and then it's like while I'm doing that, I'm trying to think of video ideas, like little stories that I could tell in 2 or 3 minutes that could be interesting and easy to do, without breaking the bank. So yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's fun. It's work too. I think that I look forward to your next one, and I think you've done a great job in the previous projects. But and
thank
like
you.
I was saying before, the visuals, like they help so much. It also gives people
Yeah.
like a look at who you are. Like when you can put a face to some music.
Mm-hmm.
Music is definitely like you gotta have good music, but it's a good vehicle for making
Dude,
visuals.
yes, exactly. I think music is delivered well whenever you use it to promote, like not like just like a random product, but like a product of yours, like what does that music speak for, like whether you're the product and you're the brand, or like you could attach this song to like Corona beer, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
a lot of times that will be how some people get like more well known is
yeah,
because I heard this song in this ad. Like I'll hear the band the Black Keys. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They got that
I've
like
heard them.
bluesy.
Yeah.
Um, they got a song. I'm a lonely boy. Na na na. They're kind of bluesy rock, but every time I hear their music, I'm like, dude, this sounds like a truck commercial
Yeah,
because it was used in a truck commercial.
yeah, yeah.
So there's that certain kind of beat and guitar.
You just automatically associate it.
There's some of their songs I'll literally hear and I'm like, why does this seem like a Lowe's or like a Maytag appliance commercial?
If I close my eyes, I can see it.
Dude, even if I don't close my eyes, I could see it. I'm like, what the hell? But I do believe in that too. Creative visualization or manifestation, like especially when I was smoking weed, I would get, I would just like meditate. Smoking weed got me into meditation.
Yeah.
Besides just, my mom would have friends that were like kind of like a psychic medium or something. She'd be like, hey,
They
we're
did like
gonna
Reiki and stuff.
Reiki. And then she'd give me books on like Wicca and Buddhism and just all these different like astrology books, even like numerology.
Numerology is an interesting concept, to say the least.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, eventually I kind of had a mental breakdown because all of it just became too much for me. Where I was
Yeah.
like, plus I was using or
Like, is this
abusing.
real or am I crazy?
I was trying to figure out reality and figure out my
Yeah.
life. Not only try to figure yourself out as a person, but then you're like, what the fuck is the meaning of life?
Yeah, trying to find yourself spiritually.
Yeah. And then the whole simulation thing was coming to be more of a thing. Like, are we living in a matrix simulation?
I mean, dude, it's funny. Like the more and more they discover about the unknown, like the universe, the more probable it seems that we are in a simulation of sorts. But
I do, yeah.
but honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because even if we were simulated, we are simulated. So this is our reality.
Yeah.
Like this is reality to us, even if we are a
I
simulation.
mean, you can still feel it.
Exactly.
My hand doesn't just pass through the.
Yeah, and it's not like it's all for
Halo.
nothing. You know what I mean?
Although when I like the first time I tripped on acid, and I already knew this probably from like science class or something, where they're like, and my son's learning about this too, with like molecules
and how they
and
vibrate.
atoms, and it's like, yo, yeah, like this table is just made up of a bunch of vibrating molecules.
Yeah.
And then they say in that molecule, it's like, oh, this is 99% empty space.
No, isn't that weird? Like
Yeah.
it's actually insane. Our whole universe is nothing, like scientifically
weird.
speaking. Like, and because we vibrate at different speeds, like we don't pass through. It's so weird. Like atoms and shit.
Dude,
when
for
you get
real.
small, things get weird.
Yes. And, that's the cool thing about music is that it is that vibe or like the frequency of like, yo, you can really get people vibing or you can affect, even when I was talking on that mind control shit earlier, I'm like, man, if you got some good music, like sometimes I'll be like, dude, I'm just fucking in a bad headspace right now. There'd be times when I would turn on the Christian station and be like, dude, I just need fucking uplifted. Or I'll
Yeah.
turn on like some frequency music.
Yeah, like binaural beats and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is frequency programming. Yeah, for sure. And like it's proven that we're affected by different hertz frequencies and all that. And like some are actually harmful to us.
for sure. There's an episode of South Park with the brown
Oh
note.
my god.
Yeah.
Yes. I know that episode. I love
Make
South
you shit
Park.
yourself. Yeah.
I wonder like they say like I don't know, it's one of those things that you hear it's real, but then they make a South Park episode about it. So like, do you think it's real? Do you think it's out there? Maybe like the CIA uses it?
Dude, yeah, I've looked into. There's a whole list I found. I've saved on my computer that's all the frequencies from like 0 to whatever, and they would have these categories of like at this frequency it has this effect on like your mind or your body, or it'll release like these. It'll start
Like
to release these
endorphins and
chemicals in
stuff.
you. Yeah. Um, so there's definitely a crazy
If
science
you get
behind
to
it.
this level, your eyes start to bleed.
Yeah, oh god. Yeah, for real, dude. It's like I don't know. Like you say, the CIA. It's like they might have that warfare out there. It's like, yo, this
Right.
is all vibration. We got this weapon that's just like a frequency gun.
Just explodes your eardrums.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
completely
And you
disorient.
can't
Oh,
even
God.
hear it.
I don't even want to think about that. That's
Yeah,
fucked up.
dude, for real.
That would be fucked up.
But that's where that like comic booky like space cowboy shit comes into play. Or where for me when I'd be like, it went from this song which was inspired by like doing drugs and being raised in a country atmosphere. I mean, in Texas, there was a lot of cowboys too, wasn't there?
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot
For
of cowboy
sure.
hats around,
For
cowboy
sure.
boots.
Yeah. I would say like so in East Texas, I lived in Tyler, which is dead between Dallas and Shreveport on I-20. So it's like if you go east an hour 45, you'll hit Shreveport. If you go west, you'll hit Dallas. And Tyler was like I lived there when it was still considered a small town. And when I say small town, there was still like 150,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
But it was spread out far enough that like everybody knew each other and like certain neighborhoods were like certain communities, and it's like you knew your way around. And like I don't know, in Dallas you get a lot more of like city dwellers, like people that move from other cities to Dallas, and it seems like it's like if you didn't open the map, you wouldn't even know you're in Texas, really. Unless or like maybe you could tell by people's accents and stuff. But like in Tyler, there's definitely some farmlands and stuff. So like you definitely got people that dress and look like me, but you also got the farmers and the blue collar people or whatever that like wear their cowboy hats and they got their land out there and they're legit cattle farmers,
Yeah,
like,
true that. I mean, that's even like outside. I mean, like New York, there's still like rural areas. But I love that music from down south too in Texas, like Houston. Like I'm a big fan. Riff Raff, you know Riff Raff?
Oh yeah, dude. I
love
met,
Riff Raff.
I met Riff Raff twice. He actually used to come to Tyler a lot. He went to
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was this place. We actually called it the Crossroads, but it was on Tidwell Drive, and it was this little like shop that they used for rock shows, rap shows, whatever. And Riff Raff was there all the time, dude.
Oh,
And I
nice.
ran into him like twice, so it was super cool.
Dude, that's dope.
He's such a funny guy, dude. I love him.
Dude, he is. I love his style. Like I'm a sucker for like jewelry and like shoes and clothing. Like there's that part of me that's like, look, I could wear rags, or I also like cool clothes, and I think that's cool about him, like his hairstyles.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's cool. And that's a big thing that I think came from Houston was like the grills.
Like dude, remember when he had them shark grills?
Yeah, dude, that's so sick. He has to have it still, like
Yeah, like in a
lined up
box.
his jewelry box at home, and but yeah, that like Paul Wall and all that.
Oh, dude. Paul, wow. What you know about me?
Yeah. Yeah, we bought like a Neon Experience VIP thing, me and Kayliana. I went to a Riff Raff concert, but this was right when his Neon Icon came out with like Diplo,
Yeah.
and he just bulked up at that point. So I was like, I was expecting to meet Riff Raff that was like, you know, thinner, athletic,
Lean.
lean, and
Mhm.
then I met him when he was just jacked, and I was like,
Damn.
dang, dude, that camera probably died. But I was just like a little intimidated. It's like this is
Yeah.
meeting like a different person. But yeah, I love all that.
I like a lot of the Florida rappers too. Like I was listening to Puya like when he was blowing up. Man, that was dope. Denzel Curry.
Yeah, I was
Fuck,
thinking
dude.
about him like yesterday or today.
Denzel goes so hard. I fucked with Denzel for a long time too. Long.
He's an anime guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, and he's a rager, man. Like he's a rock star.
and
You
isn't
ever
he sober too? I
I
think.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen his covers? Like he did this Bulls on Parade cover.
No, I
Rage
haven't seen
Against the
that.
Machine. Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. He's a fucking rock star, dude.
I'm gonna check it. Uh, just because I do like a lot of that kind of. Well, when I first heard of him, it was the Kurt Cobain song, I think.
Yeah, Suicidal Doors, call it Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain.
and it was like
Yeah.
a circusy,
Mm-hmm.
dark circus
Yeah, I'm
type.
trying to remember I can't, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Might have been called Kurt Cobain or Cobain or something.
I think it was, but the B was like a 1 and a 3,
Dun,
maybe.
dun, dun.
Cause
Yeah. It was like CO13.
yeah,
Yeah, Cobain. Yeah,
yeah, which is cool. So yeah, I guess just releasing these singles and then
and I'm just
videos.
promoting the crap out of it. Yeah,
You
man.
got so you just got like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah,
Snapchat.
Instagram, and of course the Instagram Threads app or whatever. TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. I don't really mess with Twitter or X or whatever anymore. It's
Yeah.
like,
Um
but yeah.
the
And then I'm on Spotify and everything, of course. All the good stuff.
you just released through like DistroKid
Yeah,
or
I, s-
CD
I, s-
Baby or something.
I switched to DistroKid this year. I like them a lot better. I was with TuneCore before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone through CD Baby. I'll do DistroKid too. If I'm releasing like a lot, I'll go through DistroKid because I
Right.
don't have to pay each release.
Yes. See, like that's why I think it's smart for me to do it every month too, is because it's like I can just release whenever with them.
Yeah, and then my plan is to do something similar, like hey, release singles, and then I might put them all onto an album, even if it's like a mixtape ish,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to do like a bunch of collaborations and then do like a Crossroads Connections album or something.
Okay, I
Which
see.
I'll have to send you some music, see if it inspires anything.
Yeah.
But because what I do like about CD Baby, and you can publish through DistroKid, but I don't know if you've ever gone through that publishing stuff where you like register with like BMI or ASCAP.
ASCAP.
Yeah,
I'm with ASCAP.
that's just the only other thing that I'm like, yeah, that's good to get to that extra degree of like copyright protection
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
I'm trying to get to the point because ASCAP has this feature where, like, if they have, like, let's say you do a live show at a venue and this venue is under contract or under license with ASCAP, because they have like a ton of venues
So you technically have to,
that, like, if
even if you
you
have a jukebox in there.
really, so yeah,
Technically,
so
because
like,
you're paying to play all those music that's registered.
so like,
Not everybody
literally,
does, but
they can get me paid for like a live show that I do as long as my song is registered with them and the venue's registered with them. Then it's like I can just
yeah,
upload. I think it's called like a set list or
set list.
something.
Yeah,
And yeah,
there was this venue that got
trying to
mad
get
at me, and I wasn't even the first one. I think they just put the blame on me. But it was when the Eagles was here. It wasn't the Lux,
yeah.
and they were like, Jake Ryan ratted on us for like ASCAP or BMI or something. And I'm like,
Wait,
what? Like, I don't even know if I ever put them on, but I would do stuff like that. Like if I went on a small tour, then I would plug them in later. Like, yo, I played all these songs at this venue. Um, then yeah, I would get that like set list payment. But I guess if they're not registered with them and they should be, then they get a fine. Like, hey, you never.
Damn.
I think it was especially because they didn't put on a lot of concerts. Once they started putting on concerts, kind of changed.
Yeah, it's like you kind of have to do it at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you've been doing some shows much?
Yeah, man. We did the show here on the 12th, right? That
Mm-hmm.
was what that was. And then before that, I was at the Rialto.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, I was in Seattle. I had like 3 shows in
Oh,
Seattle.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. That was
In
really fun.
Seattle or Seattle and some
Seattle,
surrounding?
Des Moines, I, wherever Daryl's Tavern is, I think that's actually Seattle. It's like right off Aurora Avenue.
Was it like on a bill with some other kind of
It was
main?
me and my buddy Joey and this other guy Branson.
Are they in that area, or you just lined them up?
Branson and Joey are both local to here. Branson is about my
So who
age.
even got you guys in on those shows? Did you guys hit them up, or?
Joey did. Like he's from here, but he's lived in Seattle for like a long, long time.
Oh, okay.
But he moved back this year to help out with his parents because they're kind of like getting to that age. And yeah, man, like we've been making music together, and it's not like my typical rap hip hoppy stuff. I've been doing more singing, more like vocalizing, and it's been a lot of fun, man. We have 3 originals together right now, and we're working on some more. We kind of call our collective the Renegade Astronauts.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's been going great. So like we rounded out a few songs. We got a couple covers. Like we have this Sisters of Mercy cover, this Corrosion that we do. Oh my
Nice.
god, dude, it is sick. And yeah, Joey had actually booked us those shows and got made a little bit of money. Met a lot of really important people. Like got to see the sights because I had never been to Washington before.
Mm,
So like
I love Seattle.
it's a fun little city, man. It's like it feels alive, you know.
It
There's like
does.
something about it. It's weird.
Artistic culture, of course, the music that came out of that area, the whole grunge movement, Jimi Hendrix. I would definitely see a lot of Hendrix stuff everywhere.
For sure.
I lived there for a little bit, going to school for music. I just partied too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, man. What, you got goals with your music, live music stuff? Traveling around
Yeah,
more?
I think in both aspects of the hip hop and the more acoustic like rock stuff.
Oh,
Uh
start kind of doing more live instrument
yeah,
kind
well
of
not
band stuff for a goal.
not me but like personally, I don't think I have the passion to learn an instrument.
But
But
get a band around.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. We're trying to like I said round out a couple more songs and record with a band and maybe have that band stick together and do more live shows. I've also been talking with a couple of my boys down in Texas, and one of them is a kick-ass drummer. The other guy just graduated from Full Sail, so he's been doing a lot of production work, and we're kind of talking about doing a band. So I might be in like 3 different groups potentially,
Well,
or
it's
two
good to
different
be.
groups, and then do my solo stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. That's the
Yeah.
that's the beauty of being like a solo artist, no matter what. And yeah, I'll have to try and make something with you sometime too. That's just like a raw, like an acoustic. Like I'll play some acoustic and get like some rapping and singing stuff on it
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
I'll send you some beats, but the acoustic stuff, blending that in with the hip hop styles, or when you show people that aspect of you too, when they know you as a rapper,
Yeah.
if that's how they know you,
Let's fucking do that. Yeah.
then they're like, "Dang, that's cool." You
Mm-hmm.
know? Um,
But yeah,
yeah, dude.
I'm about to lock in for the winter. Like
Yeah,
the show
dude.
I did here was the last one of the year.
I think that might be the last one we're gonna throw here for the year,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just like I need to hunker down on some other things, and um,
And it's getting cold out there.
it's getting cold. A lot of people don't want to get out to shows in the winter,
Yeah.
especially here.
With the ice, and I think it's going to be more ice than snow like it was last year.
Yeah, plus finding the right people to put on a show, because I'm like, it's cool to put on local homies, especially if they have some sort of like an album that they're just finishing or something that's like, yo, give you some extra promo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or if it's just like a night to get together, but really finding another act to bring from out of town or out of state to me, I think is what's entertaining for other people. Like, oh, give
Yeah,
me more reason to
absolutely.
get out. Yeah, I want to see them. So we'll probably take a break on live shows until next year, but I will hit you up for the like modeling stuff,
Yeah.
acting and film stuff.
Fuck yeah.
I'll show you a bunch of the other gear I got here sometime. That's like some dope camera gear and lenses
Nice.
and
Yeah.
um. But yeah, man. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say.
Uh, Stay tuned. Every month, new videos, new music, and then it'll come to the DSPs shortly after. Um, yeah, I am Star Kid.
Yeah, dude, you're far out, man. Oh yeah, I was gonna say too. Do you have a Facebook Star Kid page?
It's actually TBS Productions.
TBS
Yeah,
Productions. What is TBS?
Throwing Big Sky.
Throwing Big Sky. Like any relation to the Big Sky here?
Big Sky State, man.
Yeah.
Throwing Big Sky.
Throwing Big Sky.
Yeah.
What is the throwing?
Throwing it up to the sky. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay,
I don't
cool.
know. I don't know. My cousin came up with that name actually years and years ago when he first moved up to Montana, and I was gonna move up here, but it took me years to get up here.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to think of like a label name, and
Is that just you, basically? TBS Productions.
it's me, my brother BJ. He makes all the beats and everything. Like
Really?
the show we did on the 12th, all those beats that you heard, except for one of them. One of them was made by my friend GC. But all those other beats were made by
Is
BJ.
your brother here or down?
Yeah, no, he's here. He lives with me.
I don't think I've met him. Maybe I have.
No, I don't think you have. He doesn't get out much. He's a hell of an introvert.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I should meet him
He
sometime.
usually does shows with me, but like the past 5 shows I've done solo. It's kind of unfortunate, but like trying to get him to do shows right now is like pulling teeth, you know.
It is what
And
it
it's
is.
like, yeah, he's got his own things going on too, though. But
Well,
we
eventually I'll
also
meet him one day.
we also have a third member. His name is Connor. He goes by Slurpee. BJ, he goes by Smoke Baby.
Ah,
So you got
nice.
Star Kids, Smoke Baby, and Slurpee. And
Nice.
yeah, Connor is a lyricist, like a motherfucker, man. Like I love his flow. And we've only made a few songs together though. Before he ended up moving away. He lives in Indiana now. And he's got a kid
Oh,
and
yeah.
a wife.
It
And
changes
it's like it's so
life.
so hard for him to get around to it and like do the things he wants to do with it.
Dude, you know what's crazy, though? When I got married and then when we got pregnant, then I started getting paying gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, shit, I got to get out there. It's
Gotta
happening.
juggle everything now.
And if I'm
Fucking-
like, yeah, juggling. But it makes it hard. You just got to make time for everything. But wait, Kay was saying you got a fiance?
Mhm.
I didn't know you were like engaged.
Recently engaged. It was last month on Friday the 13th.
Ah, nice. Well, congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a big step. I'm pretty excited.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, we've been
when everybody's going to be checking you out online, I'll be like, dude, I can see this. He got a pretty face, but that ass, man. No, I'm just like, you're like, I'm locking it down, Yeah, man. Well, dude, yeah, I'm stoked. I hope to meet your brother one day.
I'll get his ass out here.
I'm not telling you what to do, but you might get a Star Kid other page too.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes I'll be like trying to tag you as Star Kid,
Oh yeah.
and it's all good. It's not necessary, but
For sure.
it's
I could always just change the name of my Facebook page from TBS Productions to Star Kid, but I really want it to be like our collective.
yeah. I
page.
mean, TBS Productions is good to have because that's it's like a business entity. That's you guys as one, unit.
Mhm.
But then as Star Kid, you're just like an independent artist. Because Star Kid, technically, that's like a brand in itself too. It's you, but it's a brand. If you're selling Star Kid,
Well, see, that's the thing. I think when I start to make merch, I don't think I'm gonna have it really associated with my music. Like it'll still be like an entity of ours, but I want it to be like its own brand.
oh, okay.
And be like, oh yeah, Star Kid. He's a rapper. He's a filmmaker. He's an actor. He also makes clothes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Well, it's all that stuff. It all kind of goes hand in hand, but it's all art, really.
facts. Yeah.
So, artist. Sometimes I'll be like, "Fuck," we put a little bio thing, and you could say, "I do this and this and this and this and this." And this. Sometimes I'm like, "Gosh, just put artist,"
yeah.
And
Facts. Yeah.
but yeah, man. Well, I'm stoked that you came down here to do this.
Yeah, man. Again, thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the next time we get together. We'll have to make some music. Those tats are dope.
Thanks, bro.
Flowers,
A lot of flowers. Yeah.
nice, and a dagger.
Yeah. And the moth, bro.
Oh, I want to get a moth. How the fingers? I need to get something different on my fingers. Fucking my first tattoo I got was my name on my knuckles. I'm like,
The first one, damn.
yeah, and I'm like, I was fucking wasted, and I'm like,
That's
really?
ballsy.
That's so egotistical and like narcissistic. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do now to cover them up. I wanted to do. I have to figure it out. It's a bunch of different ideas, but those are pretty cool. It's like vines. Is that what is it?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't really know what it's supposed to be. We just kind of like she drew it up, and I was like, "Fucking looks dope." Like,
I mean, it makes me think of vines from
right? Yeah,
the flowers,
vines or roots or
roots.
like,
Yeah. Sweet.
All right.
Well, brother.
Are we
Yeah,
done
man.
here?
We're all done, and stay tuned for the next podcast. Your new music video and music, and some collaborations in the future.
Star Kid out. Jake Ryan, everybody.
We're about to blast off. This giant spaceship, bro. Would you go to space if you could?
Yes.
Would you go to another dimension?
Yes, dude. If I walked out of this building and a dimensional portal opened in front of me, 10 out of 10 walking through it.
You're like going
My
home.
family might never see me again, and I'll be a missing person statistic. But it's like, dude, I'm be having the adventure of a fucking lifetime.
Dude, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I went to the